Hello everyone who is joining. I am Jenny Squibb, the creator behind BySquibb, and today we're making a superfood dinner that I'm meal prepping because I'm not too hungry right now, but I feel like cooking, so I'm gonna use that to start making dinner. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna make and why this is so nutrient dense because this is so good for you, this meal, guys. Of course, we're starting with some minced beef. As you may know, I love some grass-fed minced beef. Minced beef is a superfood in itself, full of collagen, so good for your skin. Then we've got some cauliflower. Cauliflower is a superfood. It's literally amazing, high in folate, high in vitamin C, very high in vitamin C actually. In 1 cup worth of cauliflower, there is more vitamin C in cauliflower than in oranges. So this stuff is so good for vitamin C, so full of cancer fighting antioxidants too. Cauliflower is a life hack for longevity. Then we've got just like a simple one, potato. Potato, like I love potato. Potato is really good and actually very underrated. Hello. Then we've got some tomatoes that I got from a farm. So this is like farm tomatoes are always so much tastier. In fact, I actually got loads of tomatoes from the farm because I got 2 more packs here. And you can just see inside, like, there's just so much variety. These tomatoes are so good. If you can get local produce is always better, actually, because you get more immunity eating local food, just because it has like the microbiomes of the area that you're living in, so you're more likely to get immunity to your area if you eat local food. So that's something to know. I'm just going to start off with peeling the potato because this is going to take the longest to cook, so we're going to put that in the air fryer straight away. I love potato, guys, because potato really helps make a meal satiating. So like if you have potato, it's really low calorie for like the volume, and also it just makes you feel really full. So I'm going to be cutting these potatoes into fry shapes because I love fries, and I think you don't have to stop eating your favorite foods just because they're typically unhealthy. Like potatoes are really good for you. So I was just like, I'm gonna make my own fries then, because if potatoes isn't the problem, and what the problem actually is oil, like fried seed oils, which restaurants will be cooking your food in, by the way, because it's the cheapest and they only care about profits and they don't care about your health. Then yeah, use like make your own food, like make your own fries at home. I'm just going to cut these very thin so then it actually cooks quickly, because the potatoes will take the longest. Hello. Hi everyone who's joining. We're making fries, homemade fries, and guys, these fries are so good. I made them the other day. I only showed the last half of the process, but you guys said that it looked so yummy, so I'm going to show you the full process. You just want to cut them like quite thin, not too thin, otherwise it just goes like too crispy. But look, like this shape, that's actually not that thin, but that will mean it'll be soft on the inside and then crispy on the outside, and that is the point we're trying to reach, because that is a homemade fry. Okay, now I'm gonna put the potatoes into this box, because to make it crispy you actually have to add some oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil, so I'm gonna be adding some of my Graza extra virgin olive oil. I just add it inside like this, like not too much, just a little bit. And guys, this meal is so good for you. And then I'm gonna add some salt. You don't have to add salt right now, but I'm just going to do a little bit just to help make it a little slightly salty. Close the lid and you just got to... This is, to me, the quickest way That's the quickest way to get the oil around everywhere, around your potatoes. Now I'm just going to put that in the air fryer. So I've got my little baking tray dish, and then I put it inside. And just like make sure they're like laid out flat, just sort of like that. And just pop it in at 180 degrees. And we're just going to leave it there for like 36 minutes, but it's going to take quicker than that. I'd rather put it in for longer, and then I don't have to like press any more buttons later. But guys, the quickest way to like oil your food is that you put it in a box and just shake it, because you just have to clean this box now and that's it. If you use one of those like paintbrush tools, I always find like it's just not very hygienic, and yeah, it just takes longer in my opinion. Next, we're going to start with the cauliflower into the pan. Guys, do you eat cauliflower? Because I feel like cauliflower isn't a food I used to eat that much. But once I started buying it again, it just like, it tastes so good if you just cook it properly. I'm going to show you how I cook it. I really do like the most minimal processes. I literally just like chop it up even more on my chopping board, which I'm going to show you. I just chop it small because in a way I'm not creating cauliflower rice, but I'm just like creating just like some veg on the side. I'm going to use all of this cauliflower just because like I'm meal prepping, so I might as well just put it all in and cook it all in one go. But cauliflower, like I said at the start, if you weren't here, cauliflower is such a superfood, such a hack for eating healthy. It's full of antioxidants, especially cancerous fighting antioxidants. Really good for your heart health, really high in folate, high in vitamin C. And like, what even is a cauliflower? Cauliflower has like loads of mini flowers inside of it, and all of that stuff is just so good for you. And it's also high in fiber, so good for your digestion. Guys, honestly, get onto cauliflower. It's really, really good for you and very cheap as well. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to cook. Before, I wasn't eating much cauliflower. Hello, we are making minced beef with cauliflower and potatoes and farm local tomatoes. And this is basically just going to be such a superfood dinner, but we're meal prepping, so we're just going to put it away after. We're going to pack it up. But yeah, I love having like healthy food on the go, like ready to eat, because sometimes like I am just so hungry and like I don't have the time to cook. So when I feel like it, like in moments like right now where I feel like cooking, I might as well just cook, pack it away after, and then when I am hungry, I can either, if I do still feel like cooking, I can cook again, or I can at least, if I don't feel like cooking, I just like don't have to cook, and I can just eat the healthy option that I prepared for myself in the fridge. And it's sort of the same as like preparing healthy snacks and stuff, like cut up fruit in the fridge and stuff. So I've just added some extra virgin olive oil into the pan. Bear in mind, this extra virgin olive oil is for high heat, so it's a certain type of extra virgin olive oil for cooking. You don't want to use any sort of extra virgin olive oil in your pan because they have different like heating points. So most of the extra virgin olive oils that you actually know of, which you drizzle over your salads and stuff, those are low heat, so they're like cold pressed olive oil, and you want to avoid heating those because it actually gets rid of the nutritional benefits. And if you didn't know, extra virgin olive oil is one of the most nutrient dense foods in the world, so we don't want to lose any of the nutritious benefits that it gives to you. So we're just adding in the cauliflower, guys. This meal is going to be so easy and like so simple as well. You don't need to add much seasoning at all because the food itself just tastes so good. Especially if you can buy local produce. Local produce always tastes better. And I genuinely think it's worth buying if you can, like from a farmer's market. I know sometimes they are more expensive, so it just depends on your budget. And if you can't, then like buying frozen is also perfect. And like either way, if you can just eat healthy, like you might as well just choose to eat healthy instead of, yeah. So you can actually be cheap on this as well if you want. Like this meal is actually also cheap. So I'm just gonna like leave that on the pan for now. And guys, we will be adding the minced beef to the pan after. And I love minced beef. Minced beef is so good. What do you guys usually eat for dinner? Like when you cook for yourselves, what do you usually make? I'm genuinely very interested. Hey Justin. Justin's my brother, he's just joined the live. We're meal prepping minced beef. This is a superfood. You should definitely not underestimate the power of minced beef. We're making cauliflower here. This is going to be like the side vegetable, because we always need to have a vegetable on our plate. And this doesn't even taste like vegetables. It literally tastes like sort of nothingness. But if you cook it properly, it just roasts in a really like nice caramelized way. Like it's just so yummy if you just roast it properly. So that's why like you might as well just add it to your dinners, because why not? And it's so nutritious for you and really low in calorie. Cauliflower has like literally barely any calories, so it's just a win-win for you. You might as well just add it in. And the potatoes are cooking in the air fryer. Hello, hi everyone who's joining, by the way, hello. I had cooked homemade fries in an oven before, and it does work, and it's still really good, but it just takes so much longer. So if you do have an air fryer, then definitely make sure you use your air fryer when you're cooking potatoes or like foods that usually take longer, because it actually shortens the time by maybe half, I would say. So yeah, definitely get an air fryer, or at least invest in one if you don't have one already. Like it's definitely worth getting if you cook a lot. And for me, I don't even have an oven because I live in like a pretty small condo, and there's no space for an oven here right now. So I just get by using my air fryer, and I make everything in the air fryer. It's so good. I love it. So guys, the cauliflower, it takes a while at the start to start cooking, but it is going to get there soon. And once it just starts collecting the heat, it really just becomes really quick. So you just got to wait to reach that point, but you can just keep mixing it through basically. But I didn't specify that this meal is going to be a quick meal, because I usually do very quick meals, just unintentionally, because the meals that I make are usually just happen to be really quick. This one isn't as quick, but it's only because ingredients such as potatoes take longer and cauliflower takes longer. But cauliflower isn't that long. Like I said, it just needs to reach that point where the heat is still just like collecting, and then it just guys, it just goes so quick like that. Also guys, if you don't like cooking, I feel like I found my love for cooking when I actually educated myself in what is inside the foods that restaurants put inside their food. Like when you actually see what restaurants put inside, you realize they're adding so much unnecessary junk. Even like health restaurants, like when they claim to be healthy, they actually just add loads of junk to obviously cut costs. But that means like it's just not actually that good for you, especially when they try and market themselves as healthy. So you do have to watch out for that sort of thing. And because I was so aware of it, I realized many places that I had been eating were actually quite toxic. So I would rather just go home and buy the ingredients myself, and then just start cooking, and then not have to add all the extra stuff that restaurants usually add. And I've just found, like, first of all, it's been cheaper, which is a benefit. And also you can like add what you want. Like obviously you can just choose what you want to make. Like every time I make dinner, I just can put the stuff I want inside and know the right amounts. Like whenever I order food, they just never put enough protein in the bowl, which makes me just feel like a bit hungry after. But when I cook at home, I can like add the right amounts that I need for that day, and I'm not adding anything much to it. So I really think there are so many benefits to cooking, and if you don't know how to cook, to learn how to cook, because once you do, it's just like you will reap all the rewards of it, and it's a lifetime skill. Once you have it, you don't lose it. So yeah, I love getting into cooking. And it's also fun to like try out new foods to cook with. Cauliflower's actually been quite a recent vegetable that I've started to try. I was inspired by this guy called Brian Johnson, who is like a longevity expert. And yeah, he got me onto cauliflower, so I was like, I'm gonna start trying some cauliflower. And it's so yummy, I love it. So I really do recommend it. It's really good stuff. I also use broccoli, like I was using broccoli before, I still use broccoli, I love broccoli. But just for like changing it up to make it more fun, I just like to try out some other ingredients too. And cauliflower is a great choice. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. And whilst that sits, I'm gonna start cutting up the cherry tomatoes. These are actually royal cherry tomatoes. They're so good. But guys, I'm so full. I ate a really big lunch, so I'm really full from that. So I can't even like taste anything for you right now. So like guys, these are literally picked fresh from a farm, and you can literally tell when you eat it because it's just so sweet, so soft. Like farm tomatoes are just so different to the regular ones you'd buy in a grocery shop, and also they will be healthier because they're local, and so they have more immunity properties for you. I'm gonna cut them up and put it on the side because we're not plating yet. But guys, this is going to be a meal prep, so in case I start putting all the food onto a plate, you've got to remind me that, Jen, we're meal prepping. So yeah. Tomatoes is genuinely one of my favourite foods. If it weren't for steak, it would actually be tomatoes next. So good for you. So also high in antioxidants. Really good for your skin. I always feel when I eat tomatoes, my skin is just glowy and it just radiates. Radiates? You know what I mean? So this is like the tomatoes we're going to be using. I don't think I'll be using any more just because I think that's enough. But sometimes as well, like when you're feeling weak or something, it's usually something in your diet that you're missing. And once I was feeling like really tired and like sluggish, and I was like, what am I missing right now? And it was tomatoes. So I started incorporating tomatoes again, and it was just so good. I loved it. And it gave me my energy back. And yeah, I just think make sure you have tomatoes in your diet, and you actually can eat tomatoes every day. They're just really good for you. You don't have to have too many. Just a few is okay. So yeah. I also like to roast my cauliflower, but today I just feel like putting it on a pan. I did it on a pan the other day and it was just so good. So I'm trying to replicate that again. Oh, I know why it's taking so long. It's because the heat underneath wasn't selected on both sides, so that's my bad. Because it doesn't take this long usually. It would have been done right now. But yeah, the heat wasn't properly on. I apologise. I will be adding the minced beef onto that next. And yeah, I love minced beef. It's just such a yummy food. It tastes good, and the way you cook it, you can cook it in so many ways. Like you can make bolognese out of it. You can make shepherd's pie. You can make burgers. You can literally just eat it as it is, ground beef. So yummy. I like to cook it differently on different days. Just depends what I want. But sometimes I cook it like a burger, but not as a patty, just like as burger. Okay, so I'm gonna shake these around. You can see it's not fully cooked yet, the fries, but I'm just gonna like move it around so everywhere gets golden. And we're not gonna add any salt yet. We're still just gonna let it crisp up more. But guys, homemade fries is the best thing ever. You need to do these because buying fries at a restaurant is just so bad for your health. Like, and it's really addicting too. So I don't blame you. Once you start eating it, it's like you can't stop. And like, I get it. But that's why you don't start, you just make your own instead. Because homemade is always better. So much better. Okay, I actually think this cauliflower is good. I could do it a bit more just for making it softer, but sometimes it's nice for it to be a little bit on the crunchy side. So I'm just going to put that away into the bowl. Should I start plating it? I don't know. How is everyone doing, by the way? How are you guys? Are you guys struggling with your health in any way? Like, are you trying to eat healthier? Or are you trying to know how to cook? Like, what's up? Tell me. So, I'm just going to show you. This is going to be our meal prep bowl dish. So, guys, yeah, the cauliflower is actually basically done now. And next we add our minced beef. I'm just going to try one. Okay, maybe it can do with a little bit more. Oil also helps things cook quicker because the oil acts as like it just helps the heat connect with the vegetable. Someone said cutting out all the treats and sugary foods, definitely trying to eat healthier. That's honestly a great move. The first step is literally making that decision because no one's going to tell you to do anything. It all actually comes from yourself. That's why I always love to say how like no one's going to save you when it comes to your health. Like, it literally is all up to you. The whole reason you got to where you are in the first place is nobody else's fault. It was because you put that bad food into your mouth and you had those bad habits. But the good thing is it can always change. Like, we can literally just make a decision on any day of the week to be like, actually, I don't want to eat like that anymore, and just switch it and change it all. And I've seen people do that, especially in my family. Like, we love sugar in my family, and I've seen some members in my family literally make that switch, and it's changed their life, like genuinely, and made them all confident too. So yeah, I also love to cut out sugar, and I think I'm someone who's like sort of all or nothing. Like, I have to do it completely. I can't not do it 100%. Like, if I just have like a donut treat one day, like, then I just start getting lazy with it because it's like, where are the boundaries? And I think it's really important to really just get yourself out of the habit of eating sugary foods, because also that doesn't mean you can't eat sweet stuff and you can't eat treats. It's just like more about identifying what is a treat and what is just like artificial junk that is being marketed to you, you know? So like, but that's why when you make your own treats at home, you can actually like make healthy foods that taste good, and like literally you start craving these foods because they just taste so good, and it's like you don't even realize they're healthy. And I've got so many recipes for that, by the way. If you're interested, I'll be making, but at the moment we're doing dinner. Yeah, someone said once I have a treat, it leads to the next, especially if I keep them in the house. That's such a good point, you know, like having treats in the house is just such a bad idea, and like that's not fair on yourself. It's sort of like putting candy in front of a child and expecting them to not eat it. Like, you're insane to think they're not going to eat it. So like the first thing is yeah, you've made the decision in your head that you're going to cut this out. And that literally means you shouldn't, from now on, you shouldn't buy any more junk. And to tell what is junk or not, just read the label. If it's not a health food, if it's a food you can't pronounce, I mean an ingredient you can't pronounce, just don't get it. And then, yeah, second thing is, I would also say, I would usually say like throw away all the junk that's already in your house, but I don't like food waste as well. So I think you could also maybe donate that food to a food bank or give it to like a friend or something, or even like a homeless person, because I think they'll always be grateful for food. Like they'll always be happy to receive some food. So that doesn't have to go to waste, but it can definitely just not be in your house to tease you, because if you've got these goals, you genuinely want to make it the most helpful for yourself. And when you start doing these steps, it literally makes it easier. Like you're helping yourself make it really easy. And yeah, like if I had junk in my house, like if I had like cookies and treats, I'm obviously gonna have it like at some point. Even if it's not today or not the next week or not the next month, I am gonna have it at some point just because it's there. And it's also like a reminder in your head. Like if you keep seeing it, it's sort of like marketing. If you keep seeing it too many times, you're gonna end up buying it. And it's the same with food. If you keep seeing the same snack in your house, like you're not eating because it's bad because you're on a sugar cut, at some point when you're weak, like when you're mentally weak or you're just hungry and you will eat anything, which we all go through, you're gonna eat that. And so like, why not just prevent that from happening and just get rid of it and just like replace it with something else, you know? Yeah, we're adding the minced beef in now. I love, 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 love minced beef. Actually, I'm just gonna add the whole lot because like, there's not that much. I think this is probably about 200 grams worth. I just flatten it out. Someone's asked where am I from. I am actually half British and half Thai, but I live in Thailand. I travel a lot though, so I do go to the UK sometimes and also the US. So I love sometimes just flattening out the minced beef like this, and then letting the juices sort of like, I mean, not the juices, like the fat from the minced beef just cook itself, and then I'll wait a bit for it to go crunchy, like crispy on the outside, like the underneath part, and then I'll flip it like a pancake. And it goes so yummy. Oh, I love this dish, guys. I love cooking minced beef. Like, I've got an obsession with minced beef. I was gonna say an unhealthy obsession with minced beef, but like I don't think that's actually possible. A lot of people worry about like cholesterol in red meat, but I also think like obviously you can get like a check from a doctor on like what sort of diet's good for you, but I really do like the carnivore diet too. I don't do it because I will never. I don't think I'll actually be so strict on like what I'm gonna eat. I just eat whole foods and that's basically it. But like I also love taking inspiration from a carnivore diet because I also think like a lot of people who have tried carnivore diets have lost like their autoimmune diseases, which is like I don't want to claim anything, but like I just do like eating red meat, but obviously good quality ones, because also the food industry, guys, if you don't know, is extremely toxic now, and you don't know what you're getting unless you read the labels, because companies are now pumping in hormones into their meat and vegetables. Um, but that doesn't mean to say like don't stop eating them. It's just like be aware of what you're putting in, and be aware of the food brands, because different food brands obviously have different processes for their food. Just something to be mindful of, that's all. And guys, minced beef is just so quick to cook. Like this is actually already done. I'm just sort of like getting it more crispy. And like we're about a quarter way of the meal so far. So we just have that. Then I'm gonna add the minced beef in. And then we're actually done with the pan now. We'll be done with the pan. I'm gonna put it on the side. So look, so this is the perfect part. This is the perfect stage to add in your flaky sea salt to the minced beef. Guys, the flaky sea salt makes it amazing. So good. You can literally use any type of flaky sea salt. I'm using Osmo because they sent it to me, so I'm just gonna try it. Guys, literally just like this much. So good. And I love using flaky sea salt, especially at this stage when the meat's already cooked, because flaky sea salt gives you pockets of salt when you bite into it. And it just makes it so yummy. I'm gonna add a little bit more. If you use grainy sea salt, I always find that grain sea salt literally like just melts into the food, so it makes it a salty food instead of like a delicate food. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. Okay, these fries. Oh, these literally look like fries. Like that's crazy. And guys, this is literally. Oh, that literally looks like a fry. Like I'd get from a restaurant. Like look at that. Look at the shape. That literally looks like a fry. And guys, this is literally like just healthy. Like it's just potato and extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of salt. Oh my god, the baking sheet has so not worked. Literally, what was the point? What was the point? But guys, okay, I'm gonna add it in like this. Just hold on. Look, these are the fries. Literally, it's literally a fry. This is what I mean. Just make it at home. Like it's so easy. That literally was a potato at the start of this live. And now look at what it is. Look at what she's become. So I'm just gonna put the fries inside. And they are cooked properly, I can tell, because they're soft. But then like crispy on the outside. And guys, this meal is actually basically steak and fries on a budget, because you literally get the steak flavour from the minced beef and the extra virgin, not extra virgin, the flaky sea salt. And then you get the fries, and like these are literally so yummy, these fries. I am gonna add salt to them though, because it makes them just like delicious. Like that, just a little bit. And then we've got our tomatoes that were picked from the farm. And these are local tomatoes. I always love local tomatoes because they're just so healthy for you. So packed with like nutrients and vitamins. So definitely make sure you eat tomatoes. Even just adding like 2 tomatoes to your meal does a massive difference to your energy. It's amazing. And guys, this is the meal that we've prepped for dinner. So when we don't feel like cooking, or we don't have enough time, we're on a time crunch, but we want to eat healthy, this is what is going to be eaten, because this is just going to be put in the fridge now, and it can literally last like a few days. And yeah, that's how you like stay healthy while still having like a busy life, because yeah, you can just prepare your food in advance. And that's basically what like meal prepping is. You just make it and then you pack it up and put it away and just don't eat it now. But actually, I would let it cool first before putting a lid over. Let it cool and then you put it away in the fridge. But that's it, guys. That's how you literally just make eating healthy really easy for you and easy for your lifestyle. Just do it like this. This looks so good. This is gonna be so yummy. But yeah, that's the end of the live, guys. Thank you for cooking this with me and being my company. So thanks so much, guys. Hope you enjoy, and bye.